Bethel School District versus Fraser. So, what happened? In 1983, Matthew Fraser, who was a senior at Bethel High School in Oregon, gave a speech for his friend Jeff Coleman to be the student body vice president. It reads as follows: I know a man who is firm. He's firm in his pants, he's firm in his shirt, his character is firm. But most of all, his belief in you, the students of Bethel, is firm. Jeff Coleman is a man who takes his point and pounds it in. If necessary, he'll take an issue and nail it to the wall. He doesn't attack things in spurts. He drives hard, pushing and pushing until finally he succeeds. Jeff is a man who will go to the very end, even the climax, for each and every one of you. So vote for Jeff for ASB Vice President. He'll never come between you and the best our high school can be. Although the speech contained no profanity, it did contain many sexual ideas and was deemed inappropriate by the school. This was then followed by Fraser being suspended for 2 days. He appealed the suspension and sued the school district. Okay, so what were their positions in this case? Obviously, that's Matthew Fraser on the left, and he, throughout this entire process, has sort of felt that students do have free speech in school, and that it is protected by the First Amendment, and that there shouldn't be any real punishment for giving that speech because there was no profanity in it, and it was only the ideas that were inappropriate. On the other hand, the Bethel School District kind of took the side of that schools were able to punish students for using vulgar and inappropriate language or ideas, even if there was no real profanity. In this case, Fraser did use sexual ideas and inappropriate ideas. Therefore, although there was no profanity, he was still able to be punished. So, what have been the results of this ruling on American society? And what do Americans, particularly high school students in America, need to know about this case and what it means for their civil liberties? Well, high school students should all now be aware that free speech is limited in school and that schools are able to punish the use of vulgar and inappropriate language in school. What students now need to know is that even if the speech doesn't contain any profanity, if the ideas being expressed in the speech are inappropriate, the school has the right to punish you.
So, the court decision. Fraser decided to go with the federal system, which consists of 3 main courts, which is the district, the appellate, and the supreme. So, Fraser won the district and the appellate, but after that, the school appealed again and won the Supreme Court vote by 7-2. So the Supreme Court concluded that it was acceptable to prohibit offensive and vulgar language from and remarks. So even though there obviously is freedom of speech, if you're in a school area, and specifically like this case, Fraser was in his auditorium telling his speech to the entire school, that there's certain ways you have to follow and you have to control your behavior and follow the rules that are made for that place. For the majority opinion, Chief Justice Warren Burger concluded that a high school assembly or classroom is no place for a sexually explicit monologue directed towards an unsuspecting audience of teenage students. So they believe that the language that was used in the context of the environment of the Bethel School was not appropriate and was disrespectful because of all the remarks and comments that Fraser had used. The minority vote consisted of 2 members named Thurgood Marshall and John Paul Stevens. So Stevens had a long dissent that stated that none of Fraser's teachers who reviewed the speech before he delivered it told him that it would violate school rule. So he argued that if Fraser knew that he would have got suspended, it was pretty unlikely that he would have presented it to the entire school. Important implications after reviewing this case is that although you do have freedom of speech, certain places that you're in, like schools, have the right to prohibit behavior and behavioral situations. Even if there isn't a huge disruption, if there are rules that need to be followed in that place and those rules are broken, then the place has a right to act on it. So there is a right to protest, but I believe that government and people, they can't be completely reckless and use offensive or inappropriate terms to describe other people. But also, the government and people of the law can't punish people, citizens, if their protests or sayings feel personal or directed to them.